Hi, it's John at Costa Mesa R&D. Today I have a batch of manifolds that I've cast up, and this is the Cabeza de Vaca intake manifold for the Fiat 600 and 850 platforms for the Fiats. And I wanted to show you some of the differences between my manifold and some of the other stuff that's out there. The manifold that everybody's probably familiar with is this brand A here, and these were around, sold through a couple different distributors and under a couple different names. What I want you to see is the size of the bowl that sits underneath the carburetor. You can see the brand A here is quite large. In fact, I refer to this as the bird bath manifold, and if you look at the Cabeza de Vaca, it's very small. And the idea behind making the plenum area here smaller is to increase the airflow. When you have something like this, when you crack the throttle, you have a big vacuum loss, and of course it takes a few microseconds to fill that vacuum up, and before you have a smooth transition to throttle. Another problem with this manifold was the fact that it did crack. This one here was actually welded up quite a long time ago, and I think the guy that actually did this was going to enlarge the area down here. As you can see, the Cabeza de Vaca intake is a little bit different. It's a much smaller exit on the bottom of the plenum, and what that does is to increase the airflow, which is a good thing. One of the things about my manifold is the fact that I can machine it for whatever type of carburetor just about that you want to put on here. Typically we'll put like a 36 DCD or DGV, DGA type Weber on here. I've even put some DFA V Webers on here. I had one client that asked me to modify one of these for a 30 DIC carburetor, which is the stock 850 coupe Spider carburetor, and that worked out pretty well. He was very pleased with the amount of power that he gained over the stock manifold. Now, this manifold doesn't have provisions for smog related equipment, so if you'd like to have that put in, then you're going to have to do that yourself, or we can do that for an additional charge. Anyway, this bolts on to the Fiat 600 and 850 through the head bolt holes and works very, very well. If you'd like a little bit more information about the Cabeza de Vaca intake manifold, call me. This is John at Costa Mesa R&D. We'll see you guys soon. This is the Cabeza de Vaca intake on a 850 sedan that's used in SEC autocross with fairly good success.